All righty. Hey, Cynthia. All right. Talking about healing sexual trauma. It's huge. Major. Everyone's got some kind of sexual trauma, even if it's just from religions, belief systems, even if you haven't been violated, molested, raped, traumatized. So I want to just talk about sexual healing. How does that work? Is it possible? Absolutely. So the thing with sexual trauma is that most healers have no clue about is energy gets lodged in the victim. Okay, the energy of the perpetrator gets lodged in the victim. The energy of anything that the perpetrator was holding on to, thinking, wanting to cause harm. Not only is the energy of the perpetrator in the body of the victim, but also the perpetrator can pull the energy of the victim into their body. Okay, so that's just one piece. And then you have all of the different emotions of the victim, meaning, there can be many different pieces to it. So they can feel like there's a loss of innocence, purity, can feel like there's like what happens oftentimes with young children, they want their mommy, their daddy. Why didn't they protect them, help them, save them, do something, help them? So you have that kind of thing. And then all the different emotions that occur as well, where you're feeling like helpless, hopeless, traumatized, depending on the severity of the sexual abuse. Most people actually leave the body. They might leave and go out of the body, or go in to deeper places within, go to their hiding place. Everyone's got hiding places. They may not be aware of it, but they do. So all kinds of different reasons why, the child or whoever's being violated, just like going deep inside, hiding, leaving the body, different aspects leaving the body. Sometimes they never come back in. And then all the aftermath, which there'll be a lot of shame and feeling that they're dirty or there's something wrong with them, and then it affects them their entire lives, affects them in being able to have relationship. It affects them in just being in the world, because when you've been violated like that, there's going to be shame no matter what. You're going to have shame, okay? And you have beliefs. Is it your fault? Why is this happening? Must be something wrong with me. It must be bad, whatever. You have all these beliefs. And they don't just go away, okay? So when you're dealing with sexual trauma, you have to get all the pieces. You have to get all the components. You have to get all the energies, all the beliefs, the conclusions, the traumas, the shock, the horrors, everything. And most healers do not have the understanding or knowledge on how to do that, what's actually involved. And talk therapy does not either, okay? So basically what happens when doing sexual trauma healing, all these energies have to come out. All the emotional energies, all the energies that are not them. Oh, and another thing that happens is you get discarnates. Remember, discarnates come in because there's a vibrational match. Okay, you have something in you that's unconscious, and people that have been violated, they literally will, discarnates, dead people that come in, there's a frequency that matches the victim's frequency, and so you have discarnates coming in. You have to get all of these out. If you don't, it's not over. So here's what happens when you get all the pieces. Get all the pieces. I'm talking all the energies, the foreign energies, all the emotions, everything that has to do with beliefs, conclusions, and trauma. Get all the traumas out. It's just like getting all the frequencies out. When you do, it's as though it never happened. Yes, you have memory. Victim will have memory, but that feeling, all those feelings, the lockdown, the frozen, the being ashamed, feelings helpless, hopeless, feeling violated, all of those feelings are gone. Okay, so it's almost like a reset. And then what happens is, as an adult, you're able to be yourself, able to be free, able to be a sexual human, which is a natural state of being. So it's a pretty massive unraveling. And it does take time. You're not going to get all that unless there's just really minute trauma, but it's going to take several clearings to heal everything. Okay, but the good news is if you've done a clearing and you have the video, then you can listen to that, and the more you listen to it, the more gets released. So sexual trauma can be healed completely, to the point to where your emotions and feelings and all the angst that you're experiencing isn't there anymore. So think about this. It causes depression. It causes anxiety. Okay, it's a trauma, serious trauma. So let me just see what we got here. My mom didn't know she was being abused by her own dad, but my mom also didn't know I was being. Yeah. So, here's the thing about these kind of situations. Sometimes the moms really don't know, you know what I mean? It's like they're just oblivious. That means they're disconnected. And then sometimes they know, but they don't want to know. They don't want to look at it. Okay. It's like, this is like really bad. So think about like, this happened in my world. My mom was molested by the stepdad, and then that stepdad lived in our house. What happens too is when you've been victimized, you don't have the ability to have boundaries or to be able to say, this isn't going to work. No, you don't get to come in my house. Okay. So people get pretty damaged. Oh, wow. What a fucking trip. Okay, yeah. So what about animals? Yeah, it's an energy. People, here's the thing. Everything's energy, okay? Everything. So when you understand that everything is energy, okay, and if you can move energy, then anything is possible. Anything. So yes, even animals, okay? Critters, animals, doesn't matter. Any kind of abuse, you can clear it. Okay, but you got to get all the pieces, okay? Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening is what the program I'm doing, it's right now it's called Beyond Foundations, but we will be changing the name after the sexual trauma. Okay, but basically what it is, people get to attend. You don't have to be a healer. You don't have to be, wanting to train. If you just even want to check it out and sit in and see what I do, you can do it. Okay, and the thing is, though, is if you're going to attend, if you're going to be called on, you have to sign the waiver, because I do the demos, and the demos are to demonstrate the work. So I pick someone based on the knowing, to do a demo, do a good demo, and then that person is visible. Okay, it's visible. So if you're going to sit in, you have to be able to sign a waiver. But what happens during this program basically is, so I'll pick a different piece, different component. Okay, so maybe I'm going to pick being molested by family. Okay, so that's like incest. Okay, so I'll find someone who's had that kind of experience, and then I'll walk through everything I'm doing, what I'm looking for, right? The questions I'm asking, what I'm finding, and what I'm doing. How am I clearing it? How I'm unraveling it? So you're learning the work by observing. And another thing that does happen, no matter who I'm working on, no matter who I'm doing a demonstration on, everybody present is getting the benefit of that clearing. So even people that do not get called on, that have sexual trauma, there's going to be clearing happening for those people. You will feel shifted. Okay, so the program, it's pretty awesome. And I decided to do this because it just felt to me that, you know, it's like they take the training, they take the foundations, which is now called energy healing, shamanic energy healing, and you learn all the basics, okay? But the basics, that's just the basics. That doesn't show you like how to unravel major stuff, like huge stuff, big stuff, okay? So by sitting with me, hanging out with me in this particular program, you're going to learn that. You're going to learn how to track stuff, how to, you know, like how to start tuning into your own knowing, you know, so how do you unravel things, you know, and whatever that is, how do you do that, okay? So it's an actual hands-on healing that you get to be a part of, to witness and learn, okay? And then also, again, be healed. It's pretty cool. What? Okay, I was told that I had sexual from my childhood by a reader, but I don't remember it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hang on. Yeah, so you guys, the whole implanting thing, it's a disempowering thing. It's a manipulation. It's a controlling. But what's really intense around it is that you're being held in trauma. Okay, you're being stuck in trauma, held in trauma. So there can be implants, devices, mechanisms, activators, timers, factories, warehouses, emotional timers, emotional activators coming in from alien, government, one percenters, and military. Okay, so you can mostly what's happening with the alien stuff is they could actually been tracking you for lifetimes. Okay, so they'll put devices in, mechanisms in, whatever, you know, to keep you in a certain energy frequency, in a certain state of mind, a certain kind of trauma. It's just like an exploration, a scientific research to see, okay, if we put this in here, leave it in for a couple lifetimes, how, you know, when then we take it out, what's going to happen, you know? So they don't, it's not that there's a wanting to hurt or cause harm. There's just an insensitivity. They're not emotional beings, okay, like humans. So all these devices, mechanisms, even one percenters are doing it, and even the government, military, not so much doing sexual stuff, but definitely government, definitely one percenters, and it affects your life. Okay, so you could be going to therapy, you could be doing all kinds of different things, but if there's an implant, you can do all this clearing, but if you don't get that implant, it's going to recreate certain things. It's going to pull other energies back in, or not the same energies, but it's going to pull in other energies, different things that are going to keep you in that trauma. Okay, so yeah, interesting how humanity is, you know, wants to hurt each other, take them down, cause suffering, you know, heartlessness, uncaring. Well, that will actually think about it. You know, you don't know, it's not a personal thing. You don't know them, so what do you care? You know. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty common, Irene. A lot of people, I know a lot of, many people don't remember, okay? And even though you don't remember, what's the behavior? How are you feeling about your own sexuality, okay? Are you like feeling like uninhibited? Do you feel free? Are you able to express yourself? Are you able to have fun? No shame, no guilt, you know, like open heart, just having a blast in your own sexuality. If not, there's some kind of trauma in there. Now, it may not all feelings of, you know, sexual shame are not always caused by sexual abuse. It can also happen through belief systems. For example, if you're a Catholic, all right, it's a sin to have sex outside of marriage, okay? Okay, so if you're strong in your religious beliefs, you are going to buy into all these belief systems of all these different religions, and you will have shame. You will not be sexually free. Okay, so again, it isn't just, you know, like where you've been raped or violated sexually. It can be shame, like even not even religions. Think about this: parents. Okay, parents who have either been shamed or abused will start shaming their own children. Okay, So, it's like you start shaming the children, even though nothing's happened, they're going to grow up with shame around their sexuality. Okay, so it's unfortunate, but our whole country, or most of the world, other than certain countries where they're more aware, more liberated, and aren't thinking sex is a bad thing. But most countries, think about the Middle Eastern countries, think about where women are covered up, think about where they're being blamed for a man having sexual feelings towards a woman, so cover her up. Belief systems, people. Okay, it's all beliefs. None of them are true and real, but those beliefs mess you up. Okay, so so there's all kinds of different ways to have sexual trauma. It doesn't necessarily have to be because you were violated, but you were shamed. Shamed big time. So I just remember my own mom, because she was abused sexually, and her shame around sexuality was pretty bad. So it's like it affected her kids and even her grandkids, because they hung out with her. My grandkids hung out with her, and her issues around her own sexuality came through. So you teach children how to be ashamed. All right. Oh yeah, the past life stuff too. Okay, hang on. What? Okay, hang on. Yeah, so people, you can also have carryover from past lives. See, here's the thing about sexual trauma. Everyone's got it. Everyone, until you start healing it and clearing it, okay? But you got carryover from past lives. There can be severe abuse from past lives. There can be shaming from past lives. If you didn't go through it and heal it, it doesn't go away. You carried over, it's still in your body, even though you may not have an actual event happening, you can still have the effects of it from past lives, okay? Oh, so anybody who wants to know when the program starts, this is it. July 8th, so it's, June 8th and 22nd, and then July 13, 27. So those are the days for that, okay? Okay, hang on. Oh yeah, this is good. Yeah. Okay, can it be causing a block as a healer? Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing, people. Anytime anyone doesn't unravel their wounding, okay, their shame, okay, and you're a healer, okay, you're not going to be able to be neutral in your healing unless you're, unless you really learned how to stay neutral no matter what. So even if you get triggered, you recognize, oh, that's, I'm having a reaction. That's got to be in me. Okay, set that aside. Let me stay present. Okay. But most people don't know how to do that. Okay. So if you've had sexual trauma, it's going to affect your life. How can you possibly feel good and free and excited about, getting out there, being seen, being visible? Okay. If you got sexual trauma, you won't be wanting to be visible. Okay. You won't be like, hey, come work with me. I'm a great healer. No, that won't be happening. There'll be inhibitions. There'll be holding back. There'll be blockages. Okay. So yeah, if you're a healer, you can absolutely be affected by sexual trauma. Okay, hang on. Deborah, yeah, huge reason not to have a relationship. Yes, okay. So here's the thing: if you think about trauma, sexual trauma, okay, and you want to be in relationship, when you start thinking about, all right, being intimate with someone, having sex with someone, and you think about it, and then you'll know if you're really free, because the moment you start thinking about being sexual, intimate, being visible, people seeing you, witnessing you in your sexual energy, if you got any kind of grab that happens, any kind of charge that runs through your body, any kinds of, angst happening, fear, terror, you got some trauma to clean up. You got sexual trauma to clean up. Okay. So, you know, people are messed up. Okay, hang on. What is this? Cool to hear. Oops, what is this? Okay, here's a big one. Here's a long one. I don't know if we can see it all. Okay, cool to hear what you're talking about, especially about outside energetic interferences from other people, other beings off planet. I have been assisting people in clearing out those kinds of interfering energies and devices for many years, also dealing with the negativity from past lives that are a consequence of their co-creative experiences around the multitude of different issues. Initially, many people have a hard time accepting that this kind of stuff even happens. Okay. Yeah, well, it does, unfortunately. Okay, so, all right, Deborah, just so you know, coming to the class doesn't mean I'm going to pick you specifically, but there will be movement for anyone who attends the class. That's what's cool. Okay, I think the biggest component for what people don't understand, even if you've been doing a lot of healing work for years, there's still lots of components to that people are not aware of. Okay, so I've been doing, healing that sexual trauma for many, many years. Gosh, 30 years, something like that, at least. Yeah. So doing big workshops, we do a lot of really intensives, dealing with sexual trauma, activating the traumas, clearing the energies, clearing all the beliefs, conclusions, the fears, everything, but you got to get it all in order to set someone totally free. And the only way to do that is you got to track it. Whoever's experiencing that, you have to just track it, find everything, all the pieces. Again, all the pieces will not be cleared in one session. Okay, but it is still one of the best ways of healing sexual trauma. Okay, and rather than going into talk therapy and different kinds of therapies or different modalities, that it's like you got to move the energy, you got to take it out, clear it out, release it, then the person's free. If not, they're not free. And for me, it's really about coming back to your natural state of being, which is heart open, experiencing unconditional love, and being able to express yourself freely without guilt, without shame, without feeling there's something wrong with you or you're bad or whatever, all those negative feelings. Oh, okay. Alrighty, yeah. So you guys, it's like too, there's so many traumas that happen with people, and like I'm gonna come back to my mom. So clearly my brother didn't get molested. My sister did not. And they still were not free because our mother had, she was abused bad. Okay, we're talking serious. Okay, her mother would actually send her off with the stepdad, and because back then they were migrant workers and they'd be out, going picking or whatever, working, and my grandmother would send my aunt and my mom with these guys, and like she's 12 years old. No, she's even younger than that, 11, somewhere in there. They're full on having sex with these young girls. Okay, so my mother was pretty traumatized, seriously, and she never did any healing work. Okay, so think about what that's going to do to her children. If she's got all this shame and all this yucky bad feelings, she's going to project that onto her kids, and whether they were molested or not, they're going to be messed up. Okay, they're going to be damaged sexually. Okay, so I was the one who got it. I was the one who got the abuse, sexual abuse, not just one, but my grandfather, my two uncles, and it was just years, starting really young. Like I was around 3.5 years old when it started. It might even be younger, because I can remember being out in like my grandmother, they were out in the country, there was a cabin, the dirt floor in the cabin, the grandfather there. I was really young. So, it's probably at least, maybe 3, about 3 or so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you guys, it's just unfortunate, but it really traumatizes people. Okay. All the stuff around sexuality, it's like, it's such traumatizing. So check this out, you guys. Back in the day when I had the Renaissance Center and living in Sonoma, California, one of my roommates, actually 2 of my roommates, were taking a Tantra program, okay, doing Tantra, which I think is really good, okay? The unfortunate thing about Tantra, unless you've got a really clean teacher who's not, doesn't have all kinds of dysfunctions and misperceptions around sexuality, it can be profoundly healing, profoundly liberating. But I remember a group of these people came to the center, the Renaissance Center, for the weekend. We had a pool and that type of thing. I had to leave, you guys, because I couldn't. It was like these people, the way they thought they were so free, but it was like this yucky, slimy kind of energy that they were doing with each other. It was like putrid. So I was like, I got to get out of here. These people are too fucked up. Too fucked up. So anyway, if you're going to do Tantra, make sure you got a clean person that's not like yuck. Okay, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, there's atrocities, you guys. A friend's mom was made to do awful things, told to stand with honey up on her leg and fire ants to crawl into her. Yeah, people do messed up stuff, you guys. They're seriously sick. Okay, so they're sick, and the good news is we changed our name. No longer Spiritual Acceleration. It's now Bonnie Serratore. But now my accelerators, they can all work with sexual trauma. Okay, so any kind of trauma. Okay, sexual trauma meaning even shamed sexually by people that had parents with belief systems that sex is a bad thing. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's filthy. Don't have sex unless you're married. Don't masturbate. Okay, all this stuff, belief systems that we grow up in, and we are affected. So the truth is, everyone's got some kind of distortion in their sexuality. Everyone, until you've gone through something to heal and clear these issues. But if you don't, and you die, you'll be carrying this energy into your next incarnation and recreating some kind of drama, some kind of abuse, some kind of shaming, humiliation in your future. Okay, so you guys, now is the time. Now is the time to clean this stuff up. Okay, so again, just reminding everyone, this is coming up in June, real soon. It's 4 segments, and just reminding anybody who wasn't here when I started, it's like if you attend, no matter who I'm working on, you will get the benefit of that clearing. Okay, everyone in that program is going to get the benefit of whoever I'm working on. Okay, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so, and again, nothing's about the story. It's always about the unraveling, getting all the pieces, getting all the components. Okay. So, it's like, it's a good thing. Freedom. Could you imagine if you never had any feelings of shame or feelings of shyness or, feelings of just kind of like paralyzed? People get paralyzed. Okay. They're so shame-based, they're friggin' paralyzed. They can't function. That was me. It's fucked up. All right. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Alexandra. All righty, cool. Yeah, so let me just see if we got any questions, any more questions happening. Yeah. Okay. This is somebody from Canada. All righty. Nice. From Canada. Oh, yeah. So sexual trauma. Okay. This is anybody who wants to get in on it, anybody who wants to learn, anybody who wants to understand, wants clarity, anybody who wants to know what can be done for victims of sexual trauma. What we're offering is something that will change your life. It will change your world. And what's cool, like if you are a healer and you do work with people at this level, you're going to learn things. I guarantee it. Okay. You're going to learn all kinds of things about sexual trauma and how to clear stuff so that you really are setting someone free from that sexual trauma. Okay. Because it is possible to be completely free, completely, as though it never happened, and freer than you've ever been, because you're no longer holding on to the beliefs that get created just by living in the world. Okay, I'm serious. Unless you live in somewhere where, like Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, those northern countries, they're more open, they're more free sexually. They don't have the same kind of, angst that we have, like in America. Or think about, Middle East. Think about all the different peoples and the belief systems, hardcore belief systems. Okay, intense. They're simply not true and real, people. Think about it. Our sexuality is as natural and normal as eating. We need to eat to survive. You have to procreate to survive the species, right? So why would it be a shameful thing? Oh, man made it shameful. Oh, fucking idiots. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, you got, okay, so you got so much. Okay, hang on a second. What do I don't even, okay, yeah. Okay, things are moving. Okay, worked in last class and it was amazing. Oh, Shannon, right. Shannon. Yeah. So that was with the dark force stuff. So that was life changing. Yeah. So Cynthia's asking, how did you feel after that? Yes, we did. We're still doing the dark force. We got one more dark force. So if you got, if you want to learn about dark force stuff, you might want to get in on that last class. Okay. Oh, here's the thing too, people, just so you understand. These classes are recorded. So we've got the whole series, and you can buy, even though the class is over. It's no different than, group clearings. You're learning, you're witnessing, you're watching. And even in that, even if you're watching the video and it's a video, you're still getting the benefit of that clearing. Okay. So we're still dealing with dark force, powers of darkness, and that's going to be winding up. And then we're going to be moving into the sexual trauma. So all kinds of stuff is, opportunities will be happening. Okay, Byron, the sexual trauma starts June. Hang on a second. Cynthia posted it. Let me do it again. Let me see here. Cynthia, where'd she put it? Oh, right here. Right here. Here we go. So it's June 8th and 22nd, and then July 13th and 27th. So that'll be the sexual trauma. After that, we're going to start a whole new round of going deeper. So, those people that have been coming and experiencing the work, if you notice, like, for example, we do like 4 classes, there is so much more to teach. Okay. So much. So we're going to go ahead, and once the sexual trauma is over, we're changing the name, and then we're going to keep that going so people can keep learning, how to do this work. All right, hang on a second. What do we got? I know how to start first doing sexual nonsense. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's what is that? This is it. Here's the link. If you want to do the class, it's right there. Yeah, I'm not doing personal questions, people. Wow, Byron, really? Wow, I didn't know that. Byron has, so yeah, there's a lot of sexual trauma. Yeah, okay. Oh, Cynthia, someone's on the website. So do we not, is that not on our website? Can't find the sexual trauma? Oh, you have to look beyond foundations. I think that's what it is. I'll put this back up again. Go here, Irene. Here's the link right here. Okay. It's here. So it's in the words, where people are commenting. It's that link. Yeah. Okay. So there's the link for that program. All right. So yeah, so Shannon was there. I remember doing her clearing. That was pretty cool. Yeah, everyone was shifted. You could see it. You could watch the people shift and change right before your eyes. Okay, and that's what happens. You look, it's like I've seen some people. This one woman. I mean, she was like, paralyzed like this. By the time we were done, she was laughing, she was smiling. It's like crazy what can happen, you guys. Crazy. Alrighty. All right. So she found it. Yeah. So, it's going to be a profound class. It's going to be awesome. You're going to learn massive. And if you got sexual trauma, you will get energy moving. Okay. Here's something here. Cynthia's asking. Alexandra. With your name, finally. You guys, I never wanted to have my name because I never wanted to be about me, So even when I started working, when I first opened my doors, it was back then, back in the 80s, it was called the Renaissance Center. Had that for 13 years. And then it was the White Flame. And then it was Spiritual Acceleration. So it's never been my name, but now it is. It's kind of a trip. Yeah. Okay, we took it down, Byron. The Ask Bonnie we took it down. Yeah, we're streamlining everything, keeping things just simple, and easy to navigate. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, that's what's up. All righty, cool. So again, people, this is going to be an amazing program. Amazing. You're going to learn so much. And let me put this up here. Let me just do this. So people, like, why do dark forces do sexual nonsense to people? Well, there's many reasons. Okay, people. It can be things that are coming from past things. Like, for example, people have done, atrocities and used powers of darkness and then backed out and decided they didn't want to do that anymore. Well, just because you decided to change your mind doesn't mean that you got set free. So these demons and dark forces, they can attack you. There's all kinds of reasons why, all different causes why. Okay, so you don't know till you start tracking. You got to go in, see what's up. Why is it happening? Why is it sexual energy that's happening, rather than just some kind of terrorizing somebody or traumatizing them or whatever. So there's always a reason why. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so just a reminder again, sexual trauma is coming up June, post it again right here, June 8th, 22nd, 13, 27. Here's the link. You can get in on that. And again, anybody present is going to get the benefit of the clearing. Okay, here's a good question with Byron. Okay, so he's asking, can dark force entities interfere or even change with someone's sexual identity in any way? Okay, I was overthinking. Yeah, you guys, dark force interferences can do all kinds of things. They can cause all kinds of havoc. They can cause all kinds of, mind traps, mind thoughts, mind spins. They can, cause you to feel terrified. They can, it's just massive what can happen with dark forces. Okay, so yeah, they can change so can discarnates. So people, just regular dead people in the body, can change your feelings. What you think is you. Okay, like I've done a lot of stuff with people that had discarnates in them, and I've had people live. This is for real, you guys. I used to, when I lived in Auburn, when I first did my practice in Auburn. This is where I opened up the Renaissance Center. But prior to that, I had a private practice, and then I just went bigger. Okay, and the trauma that was happening, like the energies that would come in to people's bodies, you just don't know what's going to come in. So what happened is some of my clients, I had a lot of gay and lesbian clients when I lived in Auburn. Like I got into a whole community, so they became known, so they worked with me. But I did have people that had other energies inside of them, and once we lifted those out, the person was no longer gay or no longer lesbian. Okay, so you guys, you have no clue how you can be affected by discarnates or even demons or dark forces, dark beings in you. Okay, so you can definitely be affected by that. It's crazy how much people are affected. It's mind-blowing. Okay, so for me, like I had the Renaissance Center, and we did workshops, intensives, all kinds of stuff, and it was very powerful. But when I went into the desert and was in the desert for 4 years, that's when I really started seeing and getting information, downloads of all the different kinds of interferences that I hadn't been aware of and had not been working with. And then once I got those, it was a game changer. My work became even more powerful, even more potent, life-changing for people, more effective. So now it's like this, as I keep growing and healing my own self and keep waking up even more, heart opening, the work gets even more powerful. Okay, so it pays to do your inner work, people. All righty. Yeah, okie dokie. Okay, I think that's it. Sexual nonsense. Yeah, okay. All righty. So just y'all are messing with couples and leading to high divorce. Loving my landscape. That's a good, cute question. Are dark force energies in messing with couples and leading to high divorce rates? It's not so much dark force. I mean, that is happening. It does happen, okay? But that's not like why the high divorce rate's happening, okay? Something people need to understand is people are drawn to each other because of their wounding, okay? Your wound mates, okay? So what happens is you think you met your soulmate and you met your wound mate. The wound mate's going to activate the wounds. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing, people. Relationship is about getting activated, moving through it, opening your heart, letting the soul evolve spiritually, waking up, and eventually to share the gift of you. Everything's about waking up, okay? So relationship is the crucible for couples to wake up, okay? To heal, to expand in consciousness. You might think it's all about get married, have kids, keep the population going at a higher level. It's not about that. It's about waking up, getting liberated, getting free, healing. That's the truth. All right. Okay. Yeah, so divorces are happening for many reasons. You could have discarnates in you, okay, that are affecting you. So all kinds of things are happening. All righty. So if you haven't seen our new website yet, you might want to check it out. It's now bonnieserratore.com, and it's much easier to navigate. We got, you know, if you're here to get your own work done, it's right there. And if you want to learn how to do the work, it's there. Then there's also high level teachings, consciousness, all that good stuff. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and head out now. And what's today? Oh, wait a second. Something's coming. Something's coming. What do we have? Oh, okay. Okay. I just want to share. Okay. So tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Tomorrow, we have the Inner Child, what's it called? Inner Child series, and tomorrow's Grief and Death. Okay. So you guys, the thing about any kind of traumas, or, you know, where you've got so before you die, you don't want to be taking energy with you. So we just did one on what was it? I forget. Doesn't matter. Mother stuff, the mother. Okay. So clearing out all the mother energies. But Saturday, if you haven't gotten in on it, you might want to get in on the Inner Child series. Tomorrow's like clearing grief, death, and grief. Okay. So what happens is that, you know, it's going into the subconscious. Well, actually, no, this is different. You're coming in. I'm guiding you in, taking you in a little shamanic journey into your own self. And then you're finding pieces and you're learning how to unravel and clear and heal your own self. Empowering. It's empowering you. Okay. All right. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Thanks for being here, but check out what we got. Check out our new website and, you know, get in on this stuff, people, because it will change your life. It's not about having to tell your story. It's about getting liberated. Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Cynthia. All right, everyone.